Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the space. I go by the name Enoch. And if you're wondering why you are here, then no need to wonder anymore. So basically, this channel is going to be a lot about rational discussions, logical thinking mostly. The reason why I decided to do this kind of discussion with everybody is, I think we live in times whereby people are swayed or coerced by a lot of you know um, rationality that is being geared by uh, the media, and people don't tend to think rationally about things. But most of the times, when maybe I do have discussions with my friends on topics, and then after a while, they realize like my submissions that I give, I'm not always with a majority, and that is because I usually think rationally about things, also logically, because even though maybe I might not be happy with the results, what is true is true. I can't change it. And that is why you're here. So I hope you enjoy it. And I believe this is going to help you a great lot because usually my friends do come back to me and then they tell me after giving my submissions some thoughts, they come back with a lot of appreciation. So why not bring it to you? So let's get right into it. What I wanted to talk about was something that has been said over and over again, and that is you reap what you sow. It's a topic that everybody kind of hear over and over again, but there is a but. There is something about reaping what you sow that people usually overlook, and that is when you sow, it takes a process for you to reap. So that process, that time span, is something that a lot of people tend to overlook. Like, okay, you put in apples, you expect to reap. You put in seeds of apples on the ground, you expect to reap apples in the future. That is simple, right? But the whole ideology is when you put in the seeds today, it will take time for the apples to come out. That time span is what people tend to always, as I said, overlook. And for example, and it applies to everything in life. When whatever you are today, however you look today, whatever you know today is a reflection of whatever input you put in the previous day, a week ago, a month ago, right? And then that is your reflection today. So look at yourself. Let's say you're looking all buffed, you're looking all muscled up. That is because you put in time in the gym and the results are in now as you see them. It wasn't overnight. It wasn't like just the next day. If it was just the next day, as they say, if it was easy, everybody would just do it. So the statement, you reap what you sow, which is very simple to say, if it is easy, everybody would just be reaping. But then again, the process is the most difficult part. One thing I remember when I was watching a documentation from Warren Buffett, and he was lecturing in one of the universities. And during the question and answers part, one of the students asked him, "What is the secret to success?" And he went ahead to reply with a response that I wasn't thinking about, because most of these motivational speakers, they tend to give you so many ideologies that you go back thinking like, okay, maybe that was deep or that was very thought provoking and wasn't very simple. But Warren Buffett says something. One of the secrets to success is just start early. If you start early, you may fail early and then you pick yourself up and then you keep moving on. When you start late, then it's more difficult because then you don't want to make mistakes because you already started late. And that is one of the secrets to success. So the process is what you should always think about. It's the most difficult part because it is likely that you would fail. It is part of it, the process that you will fail. Because what makes me also think about this more vividly is a friend of mine who's a recruiter, right? She works on commission, so she's able to recruit a number of people for companies. She gets a commission out of that. And what she does is sometimes she goes out on LinkedIn and messages people already with jobs. So I used to think to myself, why would she go out messaging people with jobs already? And I got to understand later that whatever she was sowing about a month ago, 3 weeks ago, maybe a year. Sometimes it takes maybe 6 months, half a year, because she could message someone today and be like, hey, are you looking for a job? Maybe I have an offer for you, knowing very well that this person already has a full-time job, right? But then maybe 6 months later, the person might go through his messages or her messages and then message her back like, hey, I saw your message 6 months ago. Is this job still available? And it makes me think like it applies to everything in life. That you put in the work, sometimes you know the time span, right? Let's say there is data, you put in a seed of orange today, because people have already done that, you already know like, okay, it takes this amount of time for oranges to come up. But then let's say you buy a stock, you don't know when it's going to go up or you don't know if it's going to go down, but you need to start now because the process is going to take some time. That one time, a day, maybe a day later, a month later, 6 months later, you would definitely reap. Was it, I think, March 2020? The price of oil was around $30 per barrel. So if you had bought 1 barrel of oil, fast forward November 2021, the price of 1 barrel of oil is $80 for one, which means it took about almost a year and some months to get to that price. Some people would not be able to wait because they would expect to see the seeds grow maybe within a day or two. But then just for 1.5 years, whoever was able to wait through the process was able to reap it. So that is basically what people might not think about. That is a process. And I apply it to my own life as well, because my friends used to tell me, hey, why don't you start a YouTube channel, right? But I'm like, yeah, maybe I'm not. Yeah, they used to tell me. I have my camera lady behind the camera. She's laughing. You can see her. So, but then, yeah, I'm here. Like, I'm like, okay, maybe it's time for me to start. And I hope I reach masses and then people get to know, like, okay, this is what I do. And I know it's going to help you a great lot. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you in the next episode.
Yeah.